gets measured gets improved. And to add our guest of honor and today's speaker, Malaya Damania, it is a great honor to have you with us, sir. We are grateful for your presence. Also, I see a quite number of people are joining us. So before I proceed, let me take a brief moment for the introduction of our organization. SEMS Welfare Foundation, it is a non-profit entity established to work in the areas of education, social welfare, women empowerment, skill development and entrepreneurship, livelihood generation and employability, health, research, cultural, international cooperation, sports, environment protection, or any other similar sector. We promote healthy lives, a balanced and active community, and strong businesses. Now, let me introduce today's speakers to all of you. Mr. Malaya Damania is a chartered accountant and a business transformation coach. So, before starting today's event, there are some ground rules which the participants should obey. Feel free to drop your question in the chat box. They will be answered at later. Every participant is requested to keep their mic mute. And lastly, a feedback link will be shared in the chat box. You can fill it. Now over to you, sir.
All right. Thank you, Muskan, for the introduction. And let me express my gratitude to SEMS for giving me this opportunity to come and speak to this wonderful audience. I hope I'll be able to do justice for your time. So, what gets measured gets improved. This is a topic which is very close to my heart, and let me share this PowerPoint so that we can straight away dive into it. Sorry, I guess I was not audible. So firstly, thank you, Muskan, for giving a wonderful introduction. And let me express my gratitude towards SEMS for giving me this opportunity to speak to the wonderful audience. I'm sure we'll have good time on this topic of what gets measured gets improved. Let's dive straight away into the topic. This topic is very close to my heart because I'm a chartered accountant and I've been, been with the numbers for a long time in my life. So, friends, let's begin with an imaginary story. There was a cricket match which was organized between two of the most powerful and talented teams of the world, India and Pakistan. This match was organized in Kolkata, Eden Garden, you all know, and there was a lot of excitement built up. The stadium was packed of people, 80,000 to 1 lakh people, and lakhs and millions of people were watching this match. They hooked onto the TV screen, mobile screen. Two captains, Rohit Sharma and Babar Azam, they both were walking towards the pitch for the toss. Excitement built up and everything was set for a iconic clash between India and Pakistan cricket match. While the match was about to begin, there was a small announcement. And what was the announcement? That for this match, we will not keep any scoreboard. We will, of course, we will maintain the scores, but we will not declare what the score is. We will not display the scoreboard in the stadium, and even the commentators are not allowed to say what the score is. Let the players play the match to the best of their ability, and once the match is over, at the end of the 5th day, we will declare who is the winner. This was the small announcement. And you know what happened? In 30 minutes, the stadium was empty. People just left because they were not interested in watching a match without wherein the scores were not visible to them. They did not know what the score was. And all the people who were hooked onto the TV and mobile screen, they all switched off their TV and they went off the screen. Nobody was interested in watching this match, even though it was played between two of the most talented and iconic teams. Why? What happened? Interesting, right? We all must have also played cricket. A lot of you may be playing also now. Any game, in fact, for that matter. And what happens when there is no scoreboard? When we do not keep track of the score, we just keep playing the game, whether it is football, badminton, table tennis, or cricket. We don't really enjoy it, right? What happens in business? Very similar to this. I have friends interacted with hundreds of business owners across my career of more than 30 years. I have worked with startup entrepreneurs and many business leaders from small and medium segments, and I've seen them working with a lot of passion. Initially, they have a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm, and they approach their business with, a lot of passion. And I really love interacting with these youngsters, these entrepreneurs, because I love business owners who do approach their business with passion. And this is absolutely fine. But at the end of the day, friends, we got to understand that business is all about numbers. You have to achieve certain numbers to be able to say that this is a successful business, right? So why numbers? The numbers, because we have to know that the greatest motivation factor for a human being is the progress. And we got to track the progress. We got to see the numbers of where am I heading in my business. There are a lot of business entrepreneurs who come to me as a chartered accountant in my earlier years, where they come to me after the year end, when the year was over, and they say, okay, these are the numbers, let's look at the numbers and how I have fared. Now, okay, there is one way of looking at your business at the year end and see that, how was the last year. But can you do anything about the last year now? Obviously, no. The idea is to track and measure your numbers with reasonable regularity. Once you start tracking your numbers with reasonable regularity, you can do something about it, right? Now, throughout the year, of course, you have got some vague idea about how the business is faring, but if you don't have a specific system whereby you are able to track the numbers, then probably you are missing a big strategy into the whole business gamut. So I would encourage everyone to measure the numbers of their business and measure them with reasonable regularity. Now, why do we say that? Now, let's say we are ill and we go to the doctor. What does the doctor first say? Get me the report. I want to see the numbers of your blood pressure. Only once I see the numbers, I'll be able to give you some medicine, give you what needs to be done. Without knowing those parameters, I will not be in a position to treat you well. Correct? So when doctors also look at the numbers, as a business owner, it is very, very imperative to look at the numbers. What is the progress of our business? Now, what are these numbers? So let's say there are two kinds of numbers we are talking about. The first one is the leading indicators. Now, most of us might know these leading indicators are the numbers that tell us something about where are we heading in our business. What is the future going to look like? Am I going to do good business in the future, or is my business slowing down? And leading indicators primarily come from our marketing and sales efforts. our efforts, whereby if you participate in an exhibition, let's say, and how many people attended to your stall, how many people came there, how many people registered there, right? Now, how many people you start contacting them and how many people are in the pipeline. Marketing and sales numbers will sort of give you what will be your sales in the future, in the next month, in the next quarter, maybe in the next year. So these are the numbers which will give you indications as to how will your business fare in the future, in the coming months. These are one set of numbers or the indicators that we must closely look at so that we can keep the resources and the support that may be required to close the deal, to get the customers on board, to get them to serve. So as a business owner, it is very, very important and necessary for us to keep a very close look at the leading indicators. The second set of numbers are the lagging indicators. How did you fare in the past? What were your sales? What were your profits? How? Because these are the numbers which will tell you how as a business, how as a company you are faring. How are you performing? Right? So lagging indicators usually come from your finance department. We say that the finance and accounts is the mirror of your business. They show you where you in reality stand. You may talk anything that, my business is flourishing, my business is doing fantastically well, we are meeting a lot of people and there is big traction we are seeing. But end of the day, what are your numbers showing? What is the sale that you have achieved? How many subscribers that you have? What is the profit that you have been able to make? And this is the numbers what your finance department or the accounts department will give. So we say that the numbers speak for themselves. When you ask us, your sales guy that, okay, so how was that exhibition? As we were talking about the exhibition, how was the exhibition? And he starts to tell you a story that, on that day, there were few people came because it was raining or it was very hot outside. So not too much of traction, etc. He will start telling you the story. So as a business owner, your interest is more on, all right, I will listen to the story, but first tell me how many people attended. Give me that number. So that will give me an indication as to how was my performance in that exhibition. So leading indicators, lagging indicators, very, very important. Now, in these financial indicators, how do we keep track of our business? We must know where our business is going, because by getting this number, we will be able to take certain decisions in our business, right? Because business environment is very dynamic. We have to, as a business owner, be very quick to see the change, see the trend that is happening, and we have to adapt to this trend, to the changes, and keep taking decisions in our business. Correct? So how will we take decisions? One way of taking decision is through my gut feelings, intuitions. I'll get some intuition and I will start reacting to those intuitions. But we all know that nowadays, data is the new oil. This is what we say. Stop going with your gut feeling, your intuitions. Use the data, because this data is now the new oil. You'll be able to use this data to take informed business decisions. And this is extremely important. And that's why we are saying about measuring the numbers. Okay. A lot of people again say that, is it really necessary? Do we really need to track the numbers with reasonable frequency, reasonable regularity? Because I can make out what my business is. So let me tell you this real life story. There was a famous American swimmer, Florence Chadwick. She in 1952, she attempted to swim a 26-mile between the California coast and Catalina Island. The distance was 26 miles, and she made an attempt to swim that distance. So she started early morning, and she was, of course, there was a team in a rescue boat was accompanying her just to make sure that she is saved from any sharks, or if she needs any help, or if there is any accidental requirement, the boat was there, the team was there to help her. And she started her swim right in the early morning. 15 hours into her swim, 15 hours, by the time it was getting evening, the sky was getting dark, the clouds started to, come down, and everything was getting very hazy. She was like now getting tired and fatigued, and she indicated to the rescue boat team that, enough, now I won't be able to swim further. Still, she continued for a while, and then finally she gave up. She quit. While she sat in the rescue boat, she realized that she was only 1 mile away from the Catalina Island, just 1 mile away. But she did not know, that she was just 1 mile away. She just felt that, this is enough. There is a lot of darkness setting in, and she quit. So let us come back to our measuring of the numbers. Let me, friends, tell you 5 key benefits that will help, you will be able to get when you start tracking your numbers, when you start measuring your numbers with reasonable regularity, right, in your business. So the first one is, you will be able to assess your position. You will be able to know the fact. Assess. What is the fact? Where are you today? Let us say, simplistically, the financial year 23-24, which starts from 1st April 2023 and up to March 24, let us say you decide on a goal of 1 crore. Very simplistic example we are saying. You decide on a goal of having a sales turnover of 1 crore, right? This is your goal. Now you started working on your business, and we are sitting at the end of June, 3 months down the line. So you got to 3 months down the line, you stop and say that, all right, what is the sale? Where have we reached? How far you have reached in terms of your sales? The accountant will tell you what is the sales number. Now, friends, if it is 3 months in the year, if you are not at 25 lakhs, then unless you are into some sort of seasonal business, if you have not reached 25 lakhs, there is all likelihood that you will not reach your 1 crore of target, because you have already started falling behind. So firstly, assess your position, how far you have reached and what is the gap. If you have reached 20 lakhs, then now the gap is to be filled is 80 lakhs in the next 9 months. And if you have reached 30 lakhs, very good. Now only 70 lakhs has to be done in the next 9 months. What is more important is to assess your position. How far you have reached vis-a-vis your goals and what is the gap. Now, in our earlier example, if Florence had known that she has, out of 26 miles, she has already covered 25 miles, and it is just last mile which is remaining, do you think that she would have quit? Most probably not. Most probably, she would have continued got her willpower back in action, and she would have continued for one more mile to make sure that she is able to reach the post, to make sure that whatever she started attempting, she is able to realize, she is able to accomplish and achieve her goals. But the problem was that she did not know her position at that point of time when she quit. Now, friends, we know that in our business, when you look at the large corporate companies, the stock exchange listed companies, in fact, all the companies are supposed to have board meetings every 3 months. In the board meeting, they are supposed to discuss the financials. The listed companies are supposed to declare their quarterly results, right? Because that's the requirement of SEBI. So when there is a regulatory requirement, we actually do those things, right? Now, for small, medium businessmen, why can't we make it a requirement for our own self, for our business, that although it is not required by government, but it is requirement for myself, for me to assess the position of my business, the financials of my business every quarter. If this we are able to do it, then probably we'll be able to know things in a much better manner. We will know our business much better. So that is something which I definitely encourage small business owners especially to make sure that assess your position with reasonable regularity throughout the year, instead of waiting for the year end and knowing what the numbers are, where we are not able to do too many things at that point of time. Let's try and track our numbers throughout the year. The second benefit, friends, when we assess our position, how does it help it? It helps us to take some action, right? If I know that I'm lagging behind, or I'm lagging behind, or I'm going forward, I'm going with what I'm doing is right. When I know something, I can take some action. And we say that stitch in time saves 9. Rather than waiting for the year end, let me understand what my position is. Let me assess my situation. And depending on the situation, I will be able to take some strategic calls in my business. I will be able to do some planning in my business so that I'll be able to reach to my goals. So now, let us say, what is the profits? We can talk about, when we say financial numbers, we can talk about the sales, we can talk about the profits, we can talk about the collection, which has largely to do with our cash flows. So collection, what are my collections? Probably last year my collection were 30 days. I was able to collect funds from my customers, but this 3 months I'm seeing that it has become 40 days, for example. That means I'm getting weak in my collection. I need to strengthen my collection department. I need to put some planning in place so that we do some rigorous follow-up. We probably have one more resource dedicated for follow-up with the customers, whatever it may be. But firstly, once we know, we can do something about it. Let's look at the inventory. What is my inventory? If I regularly look at my inventory and the composition of my inventory, are there any inventory which are like, slow moving, which are getting outdated? If I know during the year that these are getting outdated, I can probably take some action into it. I can probably declare some sale. I can probably come up with some heavy discount and make sure that I am able to liquidate these inventories before they become completely outdated and of no use to me. So therefore, we will be able to take some strategic decisions and planning when we know our numbers in time. Break-even point, for example, we look at the break-even point. What is if I have really crossed my break-even point, my sales are enough, my contribution is enough to cover my fixed cost, and I've gone beyond that, then definitely I know that now I'm in profit. The more sale I do, the more profit I'll make. Probably I'll make some strategic call in my sales strategy. So assess your numbers. Based on the numbers and the position that you are in, you will be able to take some strategic decisions, some planning. The third key benefit that we talk about is, of course, we have the numbers, we assess our position, we look at as do something about it, stitch in time. But we got to first organize our numbers in a clear reporting format. The number you have to organize in a way that we understand them, because only then we will be able to analyze our number. So again, this is extremely important aspect of the whole this webinar. Then how do we use these numbers? So we got to first analyze the number. So how do we start analyzing? What are the numbers? Let's say the sales, or for that matter, expenses, the profits. Is my sale going up, or am I getting stagnated, or is it going down? I got to analyze, right? The number. Is my expenses going up? If it is, then which is the expense which is going up? Is it my employee cost, or my marketing cost, or my finance cost? And if they are going up without corresponding increase in sales, then probably there is a danger. I got to do something about it. I got to get to the depth of it, that why expenses are going up without corresponding increase in the same. Is it a part of some specific strategy, or is it just going out of my control? These are the numbers when you get, you will be able to analyze, and then you will understand your business much better, right? It will give you a sort of direction of your business, that in what direction your business is going. Some businesses, in fact, now most of the businesses have multiple revenue streams, right? For example, if you are an automobile dealer, you have revenue coming from sale of cars. But large part of your revenue comes from your workshop. You have revenue coming from your sale of accessories, right? And also from maybe finance activity. So there are multiple streams from where a business is able to generate revenue. And we call that segmental reports. So let's get some numbers which tells you that from car sale, I am getting this sale, from workshop, and from other streams. And when you collate these numbers, these are the sales, these are the expenses, these is the profit, I would be more in understand my business better, that from where is my profit coming. And during the year, if I start tracking these numbers, of course, I will know that which stream is doing better, where I should focus more on, and which is the area which is lagging me behind, where I need more energy, more focus. So segmental reports. The last one again here is, you have budgeted, let's say you 1 crore of sale, we talked about. This is my goal, this is my forecast for the year. Then I will also have forecast for my expenses and forecast for my profits. So I have a clear financial budget set at the beginning of the year. And once I have that, I will always keep comparing these budgeted numbers with the actual numbers, so that I can get the variance. What is the variance? And why are the variance? Where am I going? Where did I go wrong in forecast? Are these variance positive, or is it negative? So the whole point is, when you start analyzing your financial numbers in your business, you will be able to, number one, understand your business better, and number two, can do something about it. Take informed decision, take decision which is for the benefit going forward. So that's about analyzing my financials. Then we have ratios. When we talk about analysis, we talk about the ratios. Now, there are various kinds of ratios, and we are not talking about the ratios, but let me tell you, there are various kinds of ratios. The ratios of your expenses to sales, the ratio of your gross margin, which is efficiency ratio, is how efficiently I am running my business. What are my profit margins? The ratio of gross profit to the sales, the net profit to the sales, the cash profit to the sales. And then there are working capital ratios, there are debt equity ratios, and every ratio has a certain meaning, and we will understand our business better if we regularly keep tracking. I mean, I'm not asking small business owners to get to the depth of and be busy in analyzing and ratios, and what I'm asking is, having regards to the size of your business, it is important for you to track and measure your numbers with reasonable regularity. Because when you measure your number, you will be able to take some decision, and you will be able to only after that improve your numbers. End of the day, we all want to improve our numbers, right? We want to have more, better sale, better profit, reduced cost, focus on the areas which gives me more profit, etc. So this will we will be able to understand our business better. A very important aspect also is about my trend. How am I performing vis-a-vis last month? How my business is performing vis-a-vis last year? So I see a sort of trend in my business. Am I getting stagnated, or am I on the upward trend? Right? So again, very important. How do I get to know the direction of my business? And we say that the direction determines destination. The direction determines destination. So we know in which direction my business is going. So eventually I will reach to this particular destination. I will also get an opportunity to compare my numbers with the peers, the competitors. Sometimes we do not get these numbers of competitors, but nowadays we do get numbers of the competitors also, right? On the a lot of them are on the public domain. A lot of them we can get numbers from the platforms, and we know what is my industry trend. If I am not doing well, is it only my company not doing well, and my other competitors or the industry in which I am is doing well? If I am in chemical, other chemical companies are doing very well, but I am not doing that very well. So there is nothing wrong with the sector, but there is something wrong with my own business, isn't it? Sometimes it is the other way around also. The industry or the sector itself is very dull. And that is one of the reasons why your business is also not doing well. So when you know your performance vis-a-vis the performance of the industry or the sector that you are in, you know that where, okay, why is it happening to you? Is there something wrong in your company, or the sector is not performing well, or the economy as a whole is under a downturn? But so by knowing this, you will be able to get a more control over your business. The fourth benefit is the team motivation. Of course, it's not that we have to start declaring our numbers, financial numbers. I understand they are pretty sensitive, and we do not want to start declaring our numbers to everyone in the team. But there are certain parameters which we can always have shared with the team, so that everyone understand where are we going. If not the entire team, at least the managers or the leadership team or the main people in your company. And as I said earlier, the greatest motivation for a human being is progress. So when you want to motivate someone, when they know that we are progressing in a certain direction, we are progressing at certain pace, that will give them the highest motivation, right? For example, when if you on a personal note, you join a guitar class, you always wanted to join guitar class, but when you actually join guitar class, go to the class, and when you start playing your first tune, you know that you have progressed, and that gives you a lot of motivation. That gives you motivation to learn the second tune, then the third tune. So that progress, when you know that I am progressing in the right direction, it gives you a lot of motivation. Now, when you discuss with your team about these specific parameters, you will understand the performance of individual members. Let's say some people are doing very well in sales, so that if you are able to track numbers on your team, the sales team or the marketing team, we can know individual performances, whether they are performing well. So rather than getting to know at the year end, you will be able to have a one-on-one discussion or a team discussion that who is doing well or who is not doing well and what needs to be done. So you can fix issues over there when you know the performance indicators of individual team, or also as well as departments. A certain department may be doing very well and a certain department not doing well. So when you know through these indications, you can do something about it. You can have the discussion with them. In the team meetings, as we said that we got to know, are we ahead of targets? If you are ahead of target, let's say we have 1 crore of goal, and by June end, instead of 25 lakhs, we are at 35 lakhs. Congratulations, your company is doing very well. You deserve a pat on the back, and you deserve to celebrate every small win. Your team is doing right, they are on the right track, and you must celebrate with them. Continue doing what you are doing so that you will eventually surpass your goals. Now, if you are lagging behind, that's a cause of worry. Something is wrong, right? You got to fix the issue that is wrong. You got to sit together with your team and understand what are these numbers which are not going as per your forecast. Why are you lagging behind? Which is the strategy which is not working? And it is absolutely fine. I mean, this is business. Sometimes we will exceed our target, sometimes we will be behind our targets. But it is important to keep knowing, keep understanding where we are heading. And when the numbers are lagging behind, when the team may not be able to performing well, sit with them, give them support, give them motivation, do a strategy with them, do planning with them, and approach your business with more action, more efforts, better planning. So it is all about, once you know the numbers, you can sit with your team and you can brainstorm, discuss, and see, okay, this is where we are, how we can now move forward from here on. And friends, the last point, the last benefit that we can get is we get better control of our business. The biggest problem I have seen in my experience with interacting with the business owners is that they get too tied up in their business, in their day-to-day activities. They are too busy in, firefighting, and they get no time to look at their business from a vantage point. Jim Rohn says that, it's not poor working habits, but it's poor thinking habit that keeps most people not successful. What is important today is to, yes, we are very hard workers, but we got to think hard. We got to think strategic in our business, right? And when you think strategic, when you think with the planning, you will be able to understand your business better. You will be able to get a better grip on your business. You will be able to approach your business with more confidence. And you will be more in the driver's seat. And when you are in the driver's seat, you will be able to navigate your business better. With more confidence, it shows up. It shows up in your personality, in your communication, in your meeting with your customers, that this is a guy who is more confident. He's sure about himself. He's sure about where his business, and that will show up in your personality. And take me from me, people like to do business with people who are more confident, about their own business. So as we say, ignorance is not bliss. Let's change that sentence. Ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance will give you weakness, right? So be a person of more confidence, of more surety, of more in control. So these are the 5 benefits, friends, we can get if we start measuring your numbers with reasonable regularity. And if you measure, you will be able to improve your numbers. And what are these 5 benefits? We can go over them very quickly. Assess your position. Where are you? Where are you, and what is the gap that you need to fill up? Second, once you have the number, you can take some timely action. A stitch in time saves 9. Then we can do the analysis, the ratios and the trends, that all we got to analyze and understand the direction of your business. The fourth one is we'll be able to sit with our team and motivate our team where our business is heading. And the last one is we get better control, better grip of our business. Let me end by saying that Jack Ma said, today is difficult. Tomorrow is more difficult, but day after tomorrow is beautiful. Most people die tomorrow evening. And why? Because they have not been tracking. They have not been tracking their progress. They do not know that just that one last night and the day after tomorrow is going to be beautiful. So I encourage all the business owners, entrepreneurs, startups to measure the progress of their numbers, because what gets measured gets improved. I would like to thank SEMS and all the organization committee members, including Muskan, Arpita, Sakshi, for giving me this wonderful opportunity to express my views on this topic. And if there are any questions, I'll be happy to take them. Muskan?
Yes, sir. Sir, thank you so much for sharing us your knowledge. And it was really a very great session. I hope our audience learned very many new things from this session. And once again, I would like to thank you so much for joining us, sharing your experience, giving your time and knowledge with us. Sir, there are a few questions which our audience want answer. So, shall I proceed?
Sure, please. Thank you. We can proceed.
Yes, sir. Sir, you have said that how measurement helps in the improvement, right? So, sir, there might be some challenges and drawback in this. So, what are the challenges?
For small business owners, the challenge is to capture the numbers. What I've seen is that it's how do you capture these numbers? How do you get these numbers from your business? And I think it is just a question of mindset. We don't need to get into too much of details if we don't have to, but you as a business owner decide what are the numbers which are important for you in your business. What are the numbers? If you get them, you will be able to take more informed decision about your business. So depending on the stage of your business, size of your business, complexity of your business, you decide which numbers are important and track these numbers. You have to find a way out to, it's not very difficult. You can always capture or dig out these numbers from your business, and these are not very complicated numbers. You can do have at the back of your mind because you are doing business, but I'm just saying is make it more structured format so that you have a system whereby you are regularly tracking, and that will help you in taking the business decisions. Drawbacks, I don't see any drawback because not capturing the numbers is the biggest drawback. So let us start tracking these numbers, measuring these numbers, which has a lot of positives. Yeah.
And sir, there is one more question. Sir, this concept, how it can be applied in the personal habit or in the behavior change of a person?
Fantastic question. Let us say I am 80 kgs. And my target is to, reduce my weight to 70 kgs. Just an example, in a 1 year time. So I'm sitting here in May. I'm saying by next April, I should be 70 kgs. Now, there's one way of approaching is okay, I'm doing something. Now I'll figure out in next March, after 10 months, I'm still 79 kgs because I haven't tracked. I'm just doing something, but I haven't tracked. Now in 1 month, can I reduce 10 kgs? The clear answer is no. When you want to, reduce your weight by 10 kgs, that means that every month you got to approximately, reduce your weight by 1 kg. So you keep tracking your health, your weight, and if it is not reducing by 1 kg a month, that means you are not going to hit the target. So this is a concept which applies in business and which will apply in all areas of our life. It's just that, again, as I say, it's a mindset. Once you apply your mind, you will figure out that, this is very simple. This is what I need to do. And just track the numbers with reasonable regularity. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir, for answering this question. It was very effective for our audience, and that was very good piece of advice. So now I would like to request everyone to please switch on their camera for snapshot. Please, everyone switch on their camera. Again, thank you all for attending today's webinar. And if you have any additional question, you can contact us through email or phone. We are happy to provide you our support. So feedback link will be shared in the chat box. You can fill it within 6 hours. And thank you so much everyone for cooperating. Stay connected for new learnings. So I'm Muskan Kumari, your host for the day. Today's event is shining off. Have a wonderful day. Thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.